Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a first impression review and demo of the Collection Lasting Perfection Ultimate Wear Foundation. I really love Collection. I've used the brand for years, but I've never actually tried any of their foundations before, so I thought that I would give this one a go. So on the actual bottle itself, it says it lasts up to 16 hours, it has flawless coverage, minimises imperfections, has an SPF of 20 and it's also oil free. And it says now with breakthrough skin lock technology for all day wear. So it's a 30ml bottle. I got mine in the shade Cool Beige, which is number 3. I tried the testers in the shop. The shade 1 porcelain was far too light for me. I was kind of toying between shade 2 and shade 3. Shade 2 was ivory. However, I thought that shade 2 was slightly more on the pink side and I like slightly more yellow undertones. But I don't know if this one is going to be a bit too dark for me, so we'll have to wait and see. So I'm going to pop my hair out the way. And then, as always, I'm going to use a primer on one half of my face to see if the foundation applies differently with a primer or not. And I'm going to be using the Max Factor Face Finity All Day Primer. So I'm just going to apply a small amount of this just to the one half of my face. I really like this primer for trying out foundations because it is just for extending the wear of foundation. A lot of the other primers I've got are either like illuminating, matte, and I don't want to change the finish of the foundation. I just want to see if it applies any differently with a primer or not. Okay, so primer on. It says on the back to shake well before use, so I'll just do that before getting going. Right, so this foundation has a pump, so I'm just going to pump out maybe... give it a couple of pumps until the foundation actually comes out first. And then I'm going to pump maybe 1.5 pumps and we'll see how we get on. And then to apply this, I'm just going to use the Real Techniques buffing brush, which is my favourite foundation brush of the moment. I'm just pushing a small amount of that foundation into the brush and then I'm going to start by applying it to my cheek. So the colour does seem very yellow undertoned. But hopefully once it blends in, the colour shouldn't be too dissimilar. So it seems to be gliding onto my face pretty well. This is the first part that I've applied, and this is the unprimed side, and so far this seems to be gliding on pretty well. It doesn't seem to be kind of like sticking into any dry areas of my skin, and it has a really nice like glow to it, even though it is oil free, so that might be really good for people who are slightly oily but do still want that kind of like luminous glow. So I'm going to move on to my other cheek. This is the prime side and we'll see how this applies. So applying that to the prime side, it's not quite as glowy and dewy compared with the other side of my face. Application wise, from this distance, you can't really tell any difference. From close, maybe a slight difference between the prime side. It seemed to have kind of covered imperfection of my redness a bit more evenly. This side still does look really flawless, but just up close, this side has seemed to kind of like blur everything out. And then finally, I'll just apply to my forehead as well. The colour match isn't too awful. It maybe is slightly darker, so I'll just also take it down my neck as well, but it's not too dissimilar. Okay, so here is a finished application. I actually only ended up using maybe like 1.25 pumps, and it actually really does give a flawless application. I thought I might do maybe another layer across my cheeks because that's where I get a lot of redness, but it's actually covered them really well. It looks flawless. There's not, again, a lot of difference between the prime side and the unprimed side. This side is maybe slightly more glowy and dewy, if you can see it kind of across my cheeks in that area. And this side is maybe slightly more matte, but not too matte. Again, the prime side, maybe slightly more flawless coverage, not too much. But yeah, maybe using a primer or not a primer, there's not too much difference, so I wouldn't worry about it. But overall, so far, I love this foundation. It's got a really nice coverage, flawless finish. It doesn't feel too tacky. It's maybe slightly tacky, but not too bad. You might want to take it down with a powder. I personally don't mind that kind of like tacky feel because I don't really touch my face throughout the day. But you know, yeah, I just really like it. The colour's not too bad either. So this is the number 3 Cool Beige. I maybe could go to the Ivory. I was just worried about maybe being slightly too pink undertoned. But yeah, overall, so good so far. So I will go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup off camera, and then I will be back after I've applied that to see how kind of the rest of my makeup applies on top. And here is the rest of the makeup. With the foundation, so far so good. All of the makeup applied gorgeously over top of it. There wasn't any problems. It set really well, and so far it is still looking really flawless. So it's now 11 o'clock in the morning. I'll be back later on in the evening to update you guys on how this foundation has worn throughout the day. So I'm back and it is now 6 o'clock in the evening, which is why the lighting is so bad. I'm sorry about that, guys. And the foundation has actually lasted really well. There's a tiny red mark on the bridge of my nose there. That's just from wearing my glasses throughout the day. It's only worn off in maybe a couple of areas, maybe slightly between my eyebrows and just on the end of my nose here, but I have been touching my face as well. It hasn't really worn off any other areas of my face. The coverage is still amazing. You can't see the redness on my cheeks. And yeah, it's just lasted really well. It hasn't gone patchy or anything like that. So I have been wearing this foundation now for 7 hours, which is obviously not really close to their promise of up to 16-hour wear, but it is still a good test of the longevity of this foundation. For 4 hours out of those 7 hours, I was also in a drama rehearsal, so I was moving around, I was active, I was getting very hot. So I think that obviously if you're doing an activity that does not require so much action and moving around and getting hot and that kind of thing, your foundation should last really well. I haven't noticed this foundation go too oily or too matte throughout the day. It's kind of in between for me. I do still have a nice healthy glow, but it's not as much as like other foundations like my L'Oreal Magique Lumi or anything like that, but it's also not on the matte side either. I do have dry skin and this foundation is perfect for me, but as it is oil free, you might notice that some of you with oilier skin types might suit this foundation as well. But I would definitely recommend this foundation for the price. I think the RRP is $5.99 maybe. I know I got it for $3.99, but that was because all of collection was on under £4. But even if it was that little bit more, I think it's definitely worth paying. It's a really good size, a really good amount. You don't need a lot of product as well. It is a fuller coverage foundation, so I only needed one and a tiny bit extra pump to do my whole face and get a really good coverage on it as well. So yeah, I definitely recommend this foundation. At least go and try it out if you can. For me, I'd probably say this is a good solid 9/10 out of 10. I think it's an amazing foundation. There really are no negatives. For me, it might be different for somebody else. Every foundation is different for everybody. But for me, I just think this one is really perfect. Everything is absolutely great about it. So that is the end of my review and demo. I really enjoyed doing these videos for you guys. So if there's anything else you want me to review and demo on camera, I would love for you guys to tell me. Let me know in the comments box below and I will try and sort that out for you guys. And yeah, that's it. If you guys aren't subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe. It really helps me out so much. There is a little button in the corner of this screen here. You can either click the red button underneath this video somewhere, or you can click the link in the corner of the video and that will take you to my channel page. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It means so much to me. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.